Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Ayush, an AI engineer at 10x.in. So, how are you all doing? Like, give me a quick heads up or thumbs up in the chat so I will know like you are here and ready to go with the session. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have spent 24 days, around 24 days analyzing data, like finding patterns, catching frauds, or predicting returns, right? And all of that assumes one thing, like that the data itself is correct, right? But what if it is not? Like data is not correct at all. So let me ask you something. Have you ever received a marketing email with your name spelled wrong? Like or gotten the same promotional email twice in one day, or called a number from your company's database and it was disconnected? Can you like from any of this situation something happen in your area of view, like anything? Just give tell me like yes or no if it is happen with you as well. Like, have you ever received a marketing email? Okay, yes. Like which one? Like marketing email or same promotional email again, or the number that is disconnected or not, like from the database, company database? Okay, yes, yes. Okay, marketing email. Okay, marketing. So this thing happen most of the time. Email, yeah, yeah. Okay. So that's called bad data. Last name spelled incorrectly in email. Okay, I can understand. So that's called the bad data. And it is not just annoying, it is expensive as well. Like I have a number with me. Like here is a number that will shock you. Like bad data cost US companies around 3.1 trillion per year. Like not fraud, not theft, just wrong data. Means duplicate records, invalid emails, phone numbers that do not work, and addresses that do not exist, and dates that are impossible. And that is trillion with a T, not even million or billion, but it will cost around 3 trillion a dollar, 3 trillion per year. I'm saying in about US companies only. And the average company, if I have to tell you, like for the average company, around 13 million per year lost to data quality problems. 13 million, right? So employees spend 27% of their time, more than a quarter of their workday, dealing with the bad data and not doing their actual job, just cleaning, fixing, and verifying information. Is it correct or not? So, how much time do you think you spend fixing data problems at work? Type a percentage in the chat so I will know what do you think. Like, like if you are you have ever copied something from one spreadsheet to another and fixed formatting of that spreadsheet, then that counts as well. Okay. So tell me what percentage do you think? It used to be 10%. Okay, it used to be 10%. Okay. Okay. More suggestions. Give me more. Like what percentage do you think? Cindy says 10%. Okay, appreciated. What do you think? Like I ask again. Okay, 30%. Okay, 10% at least. Mm-hmm. Like okay, 15 to 20. Like most people say that's the common reason, like 10 to 20%. But the actual average is around 27%. Yeah, I think many companies do not fix the data. Yeah, that's the issue as well. Like the actual average is 27%. And today we put a dollar sign on that problem as well. So in every previous session, we trusted the data, right? From the past 24 days, we trusted the data that this data is correct, right? We loaded a CSV and started analyzing. But what if the CSV itself is broken? And that is today's question. So not what does the data says, but is the data even telling the truth or not, right? So this is a completely different skill. In day 21, as you know, we caught crimes in data like fraud, bots, theft. Today we catch something worse, like errors in data that corrupts every single analysis you ran on top of it. So if your customer database has 37% of bad records or maybe 40% of bad records, then every report, every marketing campaign, every sales forecast built on that data is partially wrong because the data is broken. So the analysis is partially wrong as well. Like around half of the analysis is wrong because of the broken data. So think of it like this, like in day 21 was catching the theft, in today is catching if the evidence itself is contaminated or not, right? So which do you think is more common in a company, fraud or data error? Which do you think, like fraud is most common or data errors are most common? Like type in the chat fraud or errors, which one do you think? Like most people focuses on fraud, but data errors are 100x more common and cost more in totals. Yeah, data errors. Because data error happens like every day if you are doing the work of analysis or CSV formatting or Excel sheet, those things. So yeah, error by far. So let me show you how I set this up for today class. Yes, you have Claude to do it, but if I say you do not have a Claude, then this problem is from the past self. Like in past, this is the biggest problem for the companies, but now you have Claude, so you can do it yourself. And how you can do it? So this is the project. Okay, so let me show you which one. This one, Claude.md file. Let me open this analysis. Okay, so if you see here, this is how exactly I set it up. Like first look at the top. Like it says the role. I'm telling Claude you are a data quality forensic expert, not a data analyst. Because in data analyst you have to like give me the analysis of the data, but not here. You are a data quality forensic expert, not a dashboard builder, a forensic expert. So that word matters here. So it tells Claude to look for problems, not patterns, to investigate, not to summarize, right? Then comes the setup instructions. So if you see here in the setup, in this line, the data quality issue column is the ground truth. So use it only to validate at the end. So Claude is using this to validate at the end, right? So this is the same trick we used on day 21 as well with fraud one. So there is a hidden answer key in the data that we provided, but Claude cannot look at it while hunting the data errors in the CSV. So it has to find problems on its own. And then at the end, we compare how many did it catch. This is how you test if your AI actually works in a right way or not, right? Then here comes the most important part, what to audit. And there are 10 modules that I put it here. And let me walk you through. Okay. Just Now let me walk you through. So the first one is the data health score. So I am asking Claude to give the entire database a score from 0 to 100, like a doctor checking your blood pressure on one number that tells you how healthy your data is. So it gives us the number of from 0 to 100, like the data health score, right? The second one is the duplicate detection. So I especially told it to find exact duplicates and near duplicates. Like if you see in here, okay, just yeah, in here, you see this is James Smith versus James Smith. So that's the same person, but a dumb system would treat them as two different customers. And Claude has to be smart about it to find this duplication. Then comes the invalid content contact information, sorry, invalid contact information. So in which email without the @ sign symbol, right? And phone number like this one, like 000, this one, right? Or this one, or empty fields that are not valid there. Or I listed specific examples so Claude knows exactly what invalid looks like. So if you can see here, I put it here, like email without @ symbol with the test email or empty, incomplete or empty, and you can say for campaign, invalid email for wrong fonts and for these kinds of contact information. Okay. Then comes the geographic data problems, like city state mismatches, like New York, but the state says CA, right? And wrong zip code that does not match the city area. So these causes wrong shipping, wrong tax, or even wrong targeting of people, right? So if you see, the I provided in geographical data problem of city state mismatching, wrong zip code. So this causes shipping and wrong tax calculation. Then comes the fifth one, missing data audit, like blank names, empty emails. Every missing field means a sales rep has to manually look it up. Or worse, like they skip that customer entirely because of that empty field. So that's why missing audit, data audit as well. Then comes the date and amount anomalies. So sign up dates, like sign up dates in the future. How can someone sign up in 2027 when it is 2026, right? So outdated records from 2018 still sitting in an active database. So these kinds of things like negative purchase amounts, or you can say like impossible amount this much for a USB cable. So these types of anomalies, amount anomalies and date, it is able to find it in our data set. Then the seventh one is format inconsistencies, like phone number in 5 different formats and dates in 3 different style, like name casing all over the place. And this makes it impossible to deduplicate or merge record properly. So format inconsistency is the main issue as well. Then comes the dollar cost calculator, the main part of this one as well. Like this is the part that makes this different from anything else that we done. Like I taught Claude for every type of problem, calculate the dollar cost for every problem. I gave specific prices like $2.50 per duplicate, 0.15 cent per invalid emails, or $8 per failed phone calls, or even $5 per missing field lookups. So most tools just count problems like 1, 2, this problem goes to 3, like adding. But this one prices them like for every problem, this much dollar will cost you. So if you see, I put here like $5, I think like $3. So every dollar in here, like for everything, for email, phone calls, wrong emails, everything, there is a dollar cost for it. And I am getting it here in this eighth option, eighth audit. Then comes the ninth audit, like data quality trends. So in here, like which departments has the dirtiest data? Like which lead source produces the most errors? Are newer records cleaner or getting worse? So find where the bad data is coming from. So we have to check the department lead source and older ones as well in data quality trends, right? Then comes the last audit of validation and recommendation. Like in here, rank every problem by cost per record, the cost that we get from each error. From that cost we get per record. So fix the expenses one first, the expenses one will be fixed first, ignore the cheap ones, and at the end compare Claude's finding to the answer key that we provided in our CSV file as well, right? So these are the 10 audits. Then the output files, the first one is the dashboard one, as you see, and the health score for the first audit, then problem breakdown, and then dollar tax for every error, dollar count, then contact reachability, department quality, fixed priority, and audit report for markdown file. And this is the every field that is coming in the audit report. Okay, so that's the full system. Like 10 auditors, a dollar calculator, a priority matrix, and a hidden answer key for validation. So does anyone have a question about how this is set up? Or if you have, then type it. If not, then give me a thumbs up or write clear in the chat so I will know like you understand every audit in here. Not to the full extent, but to 10 to 30%. If it is 10 to 30%, then that's best. If you see this, these are the audit, like 10 audits. Okay. Okay. Now let me show you the data. Here's the data. Okay. Like we will no. From the past days, every past days, we are creating the analysis in every kind. Like you can say pattern matching, fraud theft, even weather condition. According to the weather condition, which business prosper or not, like those conditions, those reports, right? But in here, we are checking if the data that we are providing for the analysis to the cloud, is it correct or not? That's the main case here. So this analysis is done for our data itself. Like we can enhance our data more. Like Claude will do it for us, yeah, we know, but we have to do it for ourselves as well, like to double check it. right? So yeah, so let me show you the data set. This one, yeah. So in here around I think 8 to 9 thousands of rows, and I think for CRM, as you can see, like first name, last name, email, phone number, city, state, zip code, sign update, last purchase, product purchase, purchase, department, lead source, and data quality. You see. But if you see, I planted here like 13 types of data problem inside, like 13 types of I planted, like duplicates, typos, invalid emails, and fake phones, wrong zip codes, missing fields like future dates, negative amounts, and more. About 37% of the records have at least one problem in here, in about 9,000 rows. So let's see how much this mess is costing us. If about 37% is wrong in this data set, then how much is it costing us to run this analysis? And we are checking in the analysis, everything is great, but it is not. According to the data, data is at fault here because data is not accurate. Okay, let me go ahead with the terminal and then say Claude, and then I am the Claude. Just take, okay, then you know what I write, run it, right? So when it is running, let me share some real stories that I found online when I am doing this analysis. So NASA, as you know, NASA for space research team company, NASA lost around 125 million Mars orbiter because one team used metric and another used imperials. Like metric are called decimal based for meters, kilograms, and liters. So they are the analysis. These are the decimal based analysis metrics. But for imperials, it is US based that use inches, feet, and miles. So one team uses metrics and one team use imperials. So because of this mistake, they lost around 125 millions Mars orbiter. So that's the case that I found. Like one number in the wrong format. Only they use the wrong format. Like one used the metric, the second one used the imperial, and $125 million gone. And that is only through bad data. And there's one more. In a hospital in the UK, gave the wrong medication to a patient because two patients had nearly identical names in the system and no middle name was recorded. Because of this, because of this missing field, almost cost a life. Because of wrong name, because of a missing field, they give the wrong medication to a wrong person, right? And in e-commerce, as you know, in e-commerce, duplicate customer records are everywhere. The same person gets 3 promotional emails, they unsubscribe from all of them. You didn't lose them because of your product, you lost them because your data sent them triple emails. So if I have to say, like, has your company ever made a decision based on data that turned out to be wrong? Like, not because of bad analysis, but because the data itself was bad. Type yes or no if you think like our company made a decision based on data that turned out to be wrong, but because of data analysis, but not of because of analysis, but because the data itself was bad. And as you know, most of the time data is bad. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yes. So, as you know, the scary part is most companies do not even know their data has problem. They just see weird results and blame the analysis. Today, we find the real source of that. Like, because when you run the analysis on the data, let's say you have a company CSV report, right? But you do not know how accurate is it, but you put the analysis, like you use the Claude to do the analysis. You have this Claude.md file and everything you have in it, and then you run the analysis, then you get the dashboard, and then you are happy, right? But in the analysis everything is accurate, right? Because Claude see all the data and it thinks, okay, this according to this data I create this analysis for you. But the data itself is wrong. Around 20 to 30% data is duplicate or missing fields or wrong identity, address is not valid, or there is not a single person of that name in the data in real life, but in the data it have. So these kinds of situation, because of this, most of the analysis gives wrong analysis, like for charts and things. You get the wrong analysis from the get-go because of your poor data set. So we are seeing that today, that poor analysis of data set to so that we can check what is wrong in the data set or not. So as you can see, it is able to create the analyzer file around 1,000 lines of code. Okay, just wait couple of seconds, so it will be done. So as you know, when I said run it, so everybody knows here, like when I said run it, so it will go through the records that we have, and then according to the audits, 10 audits that we provided, it creates the analyzer file. And when it creates the analyzer file, then it is going to execute that file for me and then create every images and dashboard that I need, that I put it in the Claude.md file here. As you all know, like we are doing it for a couple of days now. Yeah, I think output is creating very soon. Clean recall is only 16, but I'm way over. Let me inspect actual data values before fixing anything. So it is also checking the data for me. You see, there's other departments, lead source, everything, and it is taking time. Okay, in the meantime, let's move ahead and go with the, okay, we done this. So this is the working of the Claude now. Like I define the problem in Claude.md file, like I explain it to you. Then I provided the data. Then these are the auditors that I provide in Claude.md file, as you know. And these are the evidence, like every problem found, counted, and priced in dollar. Like I want every problem in dollar, like how much it will cost me for every problem. Then according to the priority for critical fix, uh, improve it. Like the first priority are the critical ones. Minor ones, you can ignore them. Then comes the agentic, like AI. AI audits data quality. Human decide fix priority, like which one to fix first, which one to fix second or third, and in the last as well. Then in the layer 7, the output is generated through the AI. So let me see. Okay. So identifying organ, let me diagnose and fix it. Bad data text. Okay. It's still checking the data. As you see, as you know, in the past sessions, when we provided the CSV file, it exactly take that data and then give me the analysis directly. Now, according to the Claude.md file, what I write in the Claude.md file, it is actually checking our data set thoroughly. Like as you can see, every total level dirty is around, okay, it is updating the data as well. 3,205 clean rows, clean cluster size. So it is checking everything. To lose, it groups different people. So it is updating the analyzer file as well. Okay, it is taking time. It's take around 6 minutes or so, but it is still running. Let's take wait for a couple of minutes or so. Okay, much better. Health score, detection accuracy, just a final print has a Windows CP1252 issue. Okay, some issues with the output section. Okay, the output is almost done. As you can see, the output files are created as well, but it's still running. So we should wait for a couple of, okay, now it is done. Now I will say open the dashboard as well. Okay, yes. Okay, it is open. But first, if we see here, you can see database health score is half from 100, right? So I say 37% is wrong in my data set that I provided intentionally, but it says database health score is 53. Total annual bad data tax is this much, and hashtag one most costly problem is duplicate exact at $51 per year. It is costing that much for only duplicate exact. Fix that saves the most money is one pass deduplication exact plus near eliminates the largest single cost line and remove approx 25% of dirty rows. Detection accuracy caught this one. Now let's move forward to the data dashboard. So in here, if you see the bad data text, so there are around 8,500, not 8,500 CRM records and audit run on this day. Now health score, as you see, from out of 100, it is this much. Records audited, okay, clearly, and dirty are 46%. Let's say half of them are dirty. And then annual bad data tax cost you this much revenue or estimate per year of revenue. Reachable contacts is 89%, means 10% of contacts still not reachable. Duplicate cluster is around 1,000, and detection accuracy of labeled dirty rows cost around 60-70%, you can say. And the hashtag one most costly is the duplicate exact. That will cost us 51,000 per year. Right. So these are the hero section. Now let me move forward and then see the meter of the health score. So okay, 53% is in the warm situation. It is not healthy, it is not critical, but it is in warm situation. So our data set is not accurate, means it is not healthy to run the analysis now. We need to make it healthy so that we can run the analysis. So we can get the correct featured analysis of our data set. Okay. So top drags on ISKCON like duplicate exact are 1,700 rows, duplicate near is around 700, and missing fields around 637. And inconsistent format is around 414 rows, and invalid emails are 297 rows in about 8,500 rows. So this is the problem breakdown as well. Like if you see rank by frequency. So as you know, the topmost is the duplicate exact, 1,700. Then duplicate near is 683. Missing fields are 637. So as you can see in the data set, most commonly asked the duplicate one, like duplicate data or missing fields, most common one. Then inconsistent format. Format is still there, like 414, but not that much as comparison to the duplicate ones, right? Then there are the invalid emails. Yeah, these are the most often ones, invalid emails. City state mismatch. Sometimes this happen by mistake as well. Wrong zip, yeah. Wrong phone. If you put a single number wrong, number different from your phone number, then it is wrong phone number. Then future date, then negative amount. Yeah, negative amount. If you okay, then impossible value as well that we put in the. If you see in the Claude.md file, this one, date and amount anomalies for the impossible amount. Like for a USB cable, this amount is not accurate. That's why. Right. So this is the impossible value around 22 in about 8,500 data set. In about 22 are impossible value detection problem. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Pamela. So as you can see, like if you have the data, you can run the analysis, and that is so easy, right? Yeah. Now you think like you are in this master class for around 24 days, right? So now you know how you can run the analysis. But if the data is not accurate, then what is the point of that analysis at all, right? So that's why you need to first done this analysis to make the data accurate. Not one time, I have to say, like you have to done it by 2 or 3 times, so that you can confirm it, like okay, now it is okay to perform the analysis. Then you perform the analysis, because analysis is a one time way. Like you have the data, you have the clean data, then run the analysis, then it will be performed. But if the data is not accurate, then this is the like biggest mistake, to run the analysis before the data is accurate or not. So then here comes the issues, and there are 11. And rows affected, you can see these are the rows affected as in decreasing order. And these are the cost per year record in dollars, not per year, but per record. Okay. And this is the annual cost of these kinds of issue here. And you can see the critical ones is duplicate exact, duplicate near, missing fits, the critical one. Minor one is the inconsistent format, because it does not cost that much, $310. Yeah, but minor one. But 51,000 is not minor, it is critical. We are losing that much annually. Then comes the city state, not city state, but email invalid, still important, but not that critical. According to the data, city state mismatch critical, because I think the critical issue is above $1,500. That's why it's saying critical. No, no, but not 1,000. I think it is $1,100. That's why. No, no, no. There is some cases like in, if you see, 696 is important, but 822 or 132 is critical. Because if you see, if you eh, remove these rows, or if you able to remove this impossible value or put some kind of condition, then this type of problem will be removed from the get-go. So that's why it is critical to remove this problem from early on. Then negative amount, future date is important as well. As you can see, phone number is still in critical. Wrong zip code as well is in critical form. So this is the affected, not this one is not the affected one. Okay. Then comes the dollar tax waterfall, the bad data tax. So it costs around $80,000 per year stacked up. Okay. So this is the total amount. Okay, yeah, we see it above as well. This is the totally cost, like addition of those costs, cumulative cost, like it adds up to 87,000, like you can say 1 million. Yeah, you can say 1 million because it is 8,500 rows. So we can go approx. Okay. So now comes here, and then we can see contact reachability. So reachable are 90%. That is good. According to the data, 90% reachable phone number is good. But where goes the bad phone only 194, both bad 0, and bad email only is 297. Fully reachable are 7,679, means 90%. But these 6%, like 5.7%, is still not reachable. And in 5.7%, there are around 450 people. So you are still losing money there. Like 450 people is not still reachable. So that's the case as well. Then comes the duplicate map. Exact match cluster is this much, covering 1,700 rows. Near match cluster around covering 683 rows. And for duplicate, $30 per year in double outreach. That duplicate cost is around 71,490. Because if you have the, let's say you have a data set, and in that data set you have two different names. No, not two different, but two similar names and same contact in, everything is same. So when you do, when you provide the promotional email to that particular user, so for the same user, 2 time promotional emails go for 2 times. And when you provide these promotional emails, they will cost you. The company give money to provide these kinds of promotional emails. So if you have these duplicates data, then you are costing yourself, right? So you have to check it previously. Like this is the biggest case here for duplicate map as well. Like these things are costing companies like thousands, millions of dollars. Okay. Now, if we see, here comes the department quality, like data quality score by department. Here comes the, okay. So this is the most wonderful case here. Like for support, it is the top one according to the data. Like around 1,259, 559 are dirty, like 50%. For sales, like in the top one, data quality score by department, in the top first comes to support, then sales, then finance, then operation, then marketing, then HR, then engineering. Well, if we have to say, like 50% is accurate and 50% is not accurate, like dirty in this data set for every department. There is not a topper or loser in here. Every department is not consistent in managing the data. Yeah, which is good consistent. Yeah. Sorry. So all department is consistent in their own, but it is still consistent in managing the dirty data. So as you can see, like around 50, like half of the data is still wrong. Okay, then let's move forward. So if we see, these are the departments and these are the records, and these are the dirty ones in that record. So as you can see in the above, 50%, 50% is clean and 50% is unclean, like dirty ones. So we have to remove that or manage that. Then comes the lead square quality. And for that, for lead source, LinkedIn, social media, Google Ads, referral trade. So there are 7. And for these lead score, these are the records, and in those records, still 500 arounds are dirty, and still 50% are clean. Yeah, around 50%. So in the lead score, quality is same as department. Like 50 is clean, 50 is not clean. Like 50% of cost is going to waste, is going in waste. So quality by sign up here, but this data analysis is through our CSV provided, and I explicitly make it wrong, right? If I have to say, I explicitly make it wrong. So we get this analysis, so you can see this analysis can be done. Okay, then comes the quality by sign up year. So 2018, 22, 23, 24, and records are here like 166 for 2018. Okay, these are the records, let's say, but for the dirty one, still, if we have to say around 50, 40%, 80% clean, well, if you have 166 records, and in 166 records, if you get 33 dirty, then what is the point of clean percentage there? So in 2018, we get 166 record, and in that 166 record, we did not get 100% clean. We still get 80% clean data. And in 2022, half of them clean. Then again in 2023, then again in 2024 as well, half of them are clean. Okay, still consistent here, like 50% is clean and 50% is dirty data. Then comes the fixed priority matrix, and in fixed priority matrix, and top right is equals to fixed first. Okay, let's see. Okay, as you can see, the critical ones are here, like duplicate exact, duplicate near, and wrong font is above 30. Annual cost per record is above $30, around $30. So critical is $5 above are all critical. So if you go $5 above, then you are in the critical position to maintain that department, or you can say that problem, as soon as possible. Remove that duplicacy or that problem from your data set as soon as possible, because they are costing above $5. Okay. Then in the inconsistent format, this is the minor one, and these are in warm state. Okay. Okay, then comes the full record here. So per dollar record, okay, $32, $30, 38, 336. These are the counts, and these are the annual cost and severity for critical, for important, for minor. Still, we get too many critical issues, too many critical problems, like eight critical problems in our data set, and 5 important ones. If we neglect this one minor one, still we get total 13 critical or important problems. Still too many. In 8,500 rows, we get around, I don't know what is the total value of it, but we get around 13 critical or important problem in our data set. And the counts are here, as you can see. Let's say around 2000, I think around not 2000, I think around, yeah, 2500 data is dirty in the data set to add up these things. Okay, then comes the detection accuracy against ground truth data quality issue column used only for validation of rows labeled dirty cause the exact tag on 68%, or of rows labeled clean correctly left until 72.5%. So according to the detection accuracy that we put in the CSV file, you can see here for labeled dirty, we caught 68%, for labeled clean, we caught 72%. So still it is able to catch up these many, but we done the simple analysis. As you can see, I only provide 10 audit, and in the remaining one, if you see here, it is not 100%. So in the remaining one, there might be cases in which I do not provide an audit here. So in the data set, the data is something different, so it will not catch in here by Claude code because of the audits that I provided. So Claude only see those audit in the data set and give me the analysis here. But if I know which type of analysis or which type of bad data in my CSV, so I will provide it afterwards in this Claude.md file as well to get the correct insight. So I will improve this. Okay, so I will improve this detection accuracy as well. Okay, as you can see, this is the whole dashboard, and it is great. As we can see, our data is really bad, right? Then here comes the contact reachability. Yeah, this is done. Department done. Dollar done. Fixed priority is done. Health score done. Problem breakdown is done. And this is the summary. As you can see, summary is in JSON format. Like the clean rows is 4,600. Now you can see dirty rows are around 4,000. Dirty PCT, I think it's called. No, I think I don't know the full form here. Okay. I think points. No, point counter. I think health score is 50, around 50. Annual tax, issue content for duplicate near, duplicate exact, and issue cost for those problems is this much, right? And exact duplicate cluster and all of those things, missing counts, depth quality, and this is the summary of that problem that we have. And we also get the audit report at the last. Okay, this is the audit report. So as we can see, this is the main thing that you need at last. Like after this, you know how much this bad data is costing me, but this cost is confirmed by me because I provided for every problem how much it costs. Okay, so it might be less than this because I provided $5, $30 for email detection. So I will get the insight accurately. Okay, then as you can see, we get this analysis and we know now our rows, 4,000 rows are dirty. So we have to first improve those rows before doing the analysis. That's the main case. What you can do, you can use Claude as well to remove those dirty rows and to make this CSV cleaner. But you have to do this analysis more than one time because sometimes Claude will also find new things, new patterns when you do the analysis one more time. Because every time this is a production model, because Claude is a production, not production, but prediction time. Claude is a prediction time. So every time you run the this type of analysis, Claude think it like a new message. Like every time this is new for the Claude. So every time it finds new things, or sometimes it finds none. Okay, so this is the executive summary and problem by problem breakdown and contact reachability for every audit that we have that we provide in the Claude.md file, for missing fields, for format inconsistency, lead score unit, quality by sign up year, total bad data tags, and fixed priority, important, detection accuracy, immediate actions, and final verdict is here. Like you can see, biggest data problem is duplicate exact. Like as you can see, most common issue is duplicate one, like duplicate exact or missing field. You can say missing field as well, or phone number. But the topmost is the duplicate one because it will cost double when you provide promotional emails. So for the duplicacy, that promotional emails goes to the same person double, right? The easiest fix is inconsistent format, the low grade one, the minor one that cost less than the dollar. Then highest ROI fix is deduplication. One pass resolve 2,383 rows and eliminate $71,000 per year. If we fix this one, deduplication, that's the main issue in our data set that we found. Okay, as you can see, this is the detection accuracy versus planted problem. Caught 68.2% of ground truth dirty rows with the correct issue tag. So this much is caught accurately by Claude and left 72.5% of ground truth clean rows untouched. So this one are untouched, are left. Okay, so we found everything that we need. Now let me bring it all together. Your data is costing you money, right? Because of this, because of bad data, not because someone is stealing, because the data itself is wrong. Duplicate sending double emails, invalid phones wasting sales time, right? And wrong addresses shipping to nowhere. And that's the main issue here. And future dates corrupting reports as well. So as I say in start, around 3.1 trillion per year across US companies, in only US companies. And the fix for most of these problems, not expensive, deduplication in your database. Only deduplication. So validate email on entry, add required fields, format phone numbers consistently, and simple fixes. And this will give you the massing savings that you need for your data set because you have so many data with you to analyze. But before doing that analysis, you have to do this kind of analysis as well. So you have the correct data with you. So you can be happy by doing the analysis afterwards and seeing those numbers in real time. But before seeing those numbers, you have to do this analysis. By doing this analysis, you will get to know how many data is accurate or not. And after the analysis, then you know, okay, around this much rows, I get this much perfectly visible analysis here. Okay. So more prompts, if you want to see, there are more prompts in readme.file. If you want to go ahead and after this session, you can read this out as well. There are more prompts in the readme file, so you can run it yourself. And now there is a 25 days in, and you have found patterns, predicted futures, caught frauds, predicted returns as well, and now audited data quality itself. Before doing any analysis, do this analysis, then do any of the analysis, right? So you have gone from analyzing data to questioning whether the data is even worth analyzing, right? And that is the deepest level for this. So tell me, what's surprised you the most today? What is the most surprising thing for today class? Type it in the chat. What do you think? Like if I have to say, the contact reachability number always shocks people, because finding out you cannot actually reach a third of your customer is sad. Because when I see the contact information, 90% are reachable, but still 10% are not reachable there. And those people still might be your best customer, right? And they are not reachable. So tell me, what is surprised you the most today? Type it in the chat so I will know. Okay, my biggest takeaway, 3 trillion loss. Yeah, this 3 trillion loss that I found out is in only in US companies. I'm not talking about world itself. I'm only talking about US companies, not another than US, right? So only 3 trillion from those companies. Okay. So next time you open a spreadsheet, okay, I like having current information. Okay. So those NASA uh, situation that I provided you, that's the real issue. Like from the metrics and imperils units, they cost around 250 million Mars orbital from in NASA. And in e-commerce, as you all know, in e-commerce, these kinds of deduplication and these kinds of missing fields happens lots of the time. And that hospital case that I talked you about in the as a yeah as example, it's also real as well. Like for the same name, there are several people with the same name. So for the same name, the same medication, not the same medication, but the medication given to the another user is a biggest problem there as well. Yeah, this is not a correction one, this is only for detection. If you want it, like you can ask Claude here, like, can you correct this data as well according to your analysis? But double check what you are going to replace the data. Double check it, because sometimes Claude find out like your you have the real data, but in that real row, Claude find out, okay, this row does not match up, and this is the in my audit, I think this is a dirty row, so it should be removed. But that row might be the correct row, so you have to tell Claude double check it before removing that row. So it will double check and then find out, okay, it is the right row, I do not have to remove it, so it will move ahead. And yes, this is the detection one, not the correction one. So you can ask Claude, like you can correct those as well in the meantime, right? Okay, so next time when you open a spreadsheet at work and before you analyze anything, ask how clean is this data is, right? And that one question might save you from building a beautiful report on broken numbers. Because beautiful reports like are great when the numbers are accurate. Yes, of course. For DOB, yeah, you can say that, right? Like most of the cases, DOB are also same for most of them. As you know, like there are so many people with same DOBs. But this case, I didn't put it in here, as well as you can see in Claude.md file. This is a best case as well. Like you can provide, like you will check the DOB as well for deduplication. So I did not provide any case in here, any point in here to check the date of birth as well, right? So you can make it 11 point, the 11th point, or you can add it in between of any audit where you think this is the right way to put it here. Right, it is up to you. Like I said it previously as well, these 10 audits are not accurate as well. Like you can enhance it more, like not from 10, you can maybe even provide 20, maybe 30 even more audit here. And because of those, Claude will have a vast knowledge of audits and these functionalities to go through and then check your each row in the CSV data and give you the better insight, the better detection of your data. Right. So yes, guys, that's all for me as well for today's class. If you have any question, feel free to ask in the chat. And if not, then just give you 1 minute or so. I think how you give prompts. Yeah, that's matter as well. Like how much you give prompts to Claude, that's matter as well. Because in a way that you give Claude the prompt, that matters the most. Because if I write, analyze this data set for me, analyze this sheet for me, that is not good. You have to like create a prompt in a way so that Claude is also understand that prompt for you and then give the analysis best of their knowledge. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all for me as well, guys. So thank you everyone. So everything is in the chat for community or for trust pilot, so go ahead and then join us in the community and review us in the trust pilot as well. So see you in the next session. Thank you all for joining today. Take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day to all.